If this narrow waterway closes, the entire global economy could feel the shock. The Strait of Hormuz connects the Persian Gulf with the Gulf of Oman. This narrow passage between two shores is one of the world's most important sea routes. Every day, enormous oil tankers pass through this critical route. Because a huge share of the world's energy supply depends on this route. Oil from the Gulf reaches giant terminals before being loaded onto ships. From there, the oil travels toward markets across Asia, Europe, and beyond. So Hormuz is not just a Middle Eastern issue, it can affect the entire world. Even after night falls, traffic through this sea route does not simply stop. Every vessel must navigate this passage with extreme caution. Because in a narrow waterway, even a small mistake can become a major problem. Commercial vessels from many nations move through here every day. It is not only oil. Other global commerce also depends on this route. Hormuz is also critically important to the global trade in liquefied natural gas. It plays a major role in gas exports from Gulf countries. On a map, you can see how enormous interests converge in such a small space. On one side is Iran, on the other, Oman, with a busy international waterway between them. Oman's Musandam Peninsula makes the geography of this region even more remarkable. The ships are enormous, but the space available for them is comparatively limited. That makes navigation and international coordination essential for safe passage. For every vessel, safety preparations begin long before the journey. Because at sea, a giant tanker is essentially a moving industrial machine. Engine power steadily pushes the vessel through this narrow maritime passage. Behind this peaceful view lies an enormous concentration of economic power. But the question is, how did this narrow passage become so important? Hormuz did not become important only in the modern era. For centuries, this region served as a center of trade and seafaring. Spices, textiles, and valuable goods moved through these maritime trade routes. The geography stayed the same, while the nature of trade changed with time. Then came the resource that placed Hormuz at the center of the modern world: oil. Beneath the Gulf's deserts lay enormous reserves of oil. Oil production led to massive infrastructure for processing and transportation. From desert fields to the sea, every step is part of a massive supply system. From these terminals, energy begins its journey to markets around the world. A vast commercial network has grown around this energy corridor. The connection between this sea route and Asian economies is especially deep. A tanker's distant voyage ultimately reaches factories and industries. And that energy eventually reaches our everyday lives. From vehicle fuel to transportation, its impact is all around us. When supply is disrupted, the effects can quickly reach the market. Then oil prices, transport costs, and market uncertainty can all rise. If shipping remains disrupted for long, the consequences can become much larger. Because modern economies depend heavily on reliable, timely supply. Even delays on one sea route can reach businesses thousands of miles away. When risk rises, shipping insurance and transport costs can rise too. So during every crisis, the first question becomes, can ships pass safely? Maritime security is therefore crucial for keeping commercial traffic moving safely. Security here is not just one country's concern, it is an international issue. Because the security of Hormuz is tied to the economies of many nations. Yet history shows that even under pressure, commerce finds a way forward. A stable Hormuz means greater stability for global trade. After crossing the strait, ships reach the wider open sea. From here begins the long international voyage across the seas. Some head toward Asia, while others continue toward distant markets. Eventually, this energy reaches some of the world's largest ports. From there, crude enters refineries, where a new process begins. Oil becomes gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and many other products. Test our new timing features? The same supply chain eventually delivers fuel to airports as well. On roads, that energy powers cars, trucks, and buses. Global energy supply is also vital to industrial production. In other words, the Hormuz story is also a story about supply chains. That distant sea route is therefore quietly connected to everyday life. That is why, despite its small size, its importance is global. Now let's return to the narrow waterway where our story began. Every movement of a ship here depends on precise navigation. Because the position of every nearby vessel matters. Oil tankers, gas carriers, and container ships all form part of the same network. How one small waterway connects such a huge world. That is Hormuz's wonder. The geography is small, but the economies depending on it are enormous. So Hormuz is more than a strait. It is a critical gateway in the global energy system. The safer and more stable this route remains, the more smoothly global trade can move. These lights glowing across the dark sea symbolize global commerce itself. Even when one ship's journey ends, the economies of millions continue behind it. Hormuz reminds us that the world's greatest forces can sometimes depend on the narrowest paths. Hormuz, a narrow passage whose story is ultimately the story of the world. What do you think?